done so much for me, I cannot tell it all.
Being raised in a house with two different women who are not your mother, that have their own children. For those of you who have lived in polygamous homes, you know the politics that takes place. Every woman is looking of how they're going to make sure the husband is looking at their own child. So who was looking out for me? They say adversity can drive you to your knees. And because of that loneliness, I was being driven to God. So from two students whose parents didn't go to church, I almost self-motivated. In my experience with God, there are three vital things that have shaped my salvation and my relationship with Him. One of them is faith. I saw my own life as someone who had unmerited favor. What that meant is I had experienced the grace of God. You can have that grace. I have that grace. We all have that grace. But we decide whether we want to engage the grace or not. And I decided to engage the grace. I said to myself, this grace of God is for a purpose. What am I going to do with it? There are times when we say some prayers and we don't know what we want God to do. But God knows what His plans are, and He helps us to pray the prayers in line with His desires for us. So your prayer is not about just asking for anything. It's about taking God's promise and putting it in action by praying it. There are things that happened in my life that should have made it impossible for me to have married the man I married. There's a scripture in Job that I prayed for my husband. And I had not met him, but I prayed it. That his words will be like dew from heaven. That when he comes to the city, that elders will rise up because of him. And that the tongue of the noble will stick to the roof of their mouth. When they hear him speak, they will not have any response. Have you heard my husband speak before? Have you heard him speak before? Uh-huh. Do you believe that that word has come to pass? That was my prayer there. That prayer you are praying today for that child, that prayer that you are praying for that guy that you want to marry, God is going to answer it too. He will answer it. God is not man. That's why He cannot behave like us. Because if you deserve punishment, you should be punished. But He's saying, I'm not a man, and that's why I'm different, and that's why I have to do things differently. And that's why the communion table, where He says that we should come to that table worthily. And worthily only means, I want you to understand what I have done on the cross. Come to that table recognizing what I did on the cross. Don't come there forgetting what I did. Come there remembering that there was a cross. I went on that cross. I gave my life that you may be redeemed through my blood, through the redemption of your sins. I gave my life for you. And yes, I didn't want to go to the cross because it was going to be a painful and a lonely journey. But when I remembered you, let's not waste that mercy. Let's not waste that grace. But let us come into a place of faith in God. God bless you.